Sure. Good afternoon, everyone. Hey, it's me, Mike Asherbrenner, the proud and humble leader of the Hounds of Business, and your host today. You are tuning in with Mike King Biz Radio, ESPN 106.1 FM RVA. If you're driving around today in Richmond, hey, thank you for tuning in. We got a very special guest. All right, it's somebody that I love chatting with. Reminds me back in the day with my dad at the mechanic shop and the construction people. Man, it's gonna be a good chat. So folks showing up from the Hounds of Business, friends of the Hounds on this live stream. Welcome to the show. Super excited. Appreciate you guys. And hey, if you're driving around out there and you might catch something or say, hey, what did he say? Or where do I find this or that? You go to the Hounds of Business on YouTube. So go to Hounds of Business on YouTube. You can also find them and us and me on LinkedIn, Mike Asherbranner, Redneck One, or send a carrier pigeon. I still accept those, y'all. So we got Noni, OZK Studios is here. Omar, oh, go to my YouTube under the live tab, guys. Hounds of Business. That was a fun show. You get to know me, and then Christy D. Williams, they're piling in. So I'll tell you what, without further ado, let's run the intro, and then we're going to bring Geoff himself up. Super excited. Thank you all.
Looks like your business might be in a bit of a pickle. Don't you worry about a thing. You ain't alone in this. You're just a success story waiting to happen. Trust me on that. Every bump in the road is just an opportunity wearing a clever disguise. Welcome to the Hounds of Business community, where we don't just sit around twiddling our thumbs. Nope. We turn those obstacles into mighty fine stepping stones. This here's a place where high-level entrepreneurs and sharp professionals gather to grow their businesses and mindsets, kind of like how a good old gumbo needs the right ingredients to be something special. Ideas thrive here, and collaborations, well, they're as natural as sweet tea on a hot day. Success, it's a journey, and we're fixing to walk that road right beside you. Now, don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn for all the latest tips and insights. We're talking about the kind of wisdom that'll keep you ahead of the game. And while you're at it, head on over to our YouTube channel. We've got ourselves a treasure trove of videos, from expert interviews to webinars, everything you need to stay sharp in this fast-moving world of business. The Hounds of Business community? Well, we ain't just a network, we're a movement. So why not come on and be part of something bigger? Join us today and let's turn your business journey into a real Southern success story. Together, we'll achieve greatness, just like crawfish and singing on a Friday night.
Crawfish and singing on a Friday night, Geoff. You know anything about that, my friend?
Uh, Not much.
Well, we'll have to break you in, my friend. So, hey, welcome to the show, everybody. Appreciate you being here. Hey, folks in the audience, if you're watching this live, tell us how your New Year's going. We're 28 days into this, Geoff. Could you believe it, man? How's your New Year going, my friend?
Yeah, I mean, we're off to a good start. It's a little chilly here in Michigan, but I'm excited about 2025.
Oh, yes, sir, man. It's been phenomenal. You know, everybody, a lot of folks. I love to hear the audience right now. Chime in on the comments, guys. If how's it going? Because 2024, a lot of people I said, oh my goodness, man, that's a hard year for a lot of folks. This year seems to be coming out for a bang, and I hope that's the case. So before we get diving in, do me a favor before we dive into the business strategy and all this good stuff, Geoff. I'm curious. I'm sure other folks are curious, man. What drew you? Give us a little background and what drew you to work with manufacturing construction businesses.
Yeah, so most of my career I've been working for or started my own business. I've worked for large manufacturing companies in the chemical industries, servicing manufacturers in automotive and appliance and so on. And I built my own business in the facility services space, where I did work for hospitals, colleges, universities, and government facilities. And most recently, I spent a couple of years with a commercial construction company growing his revenue. So manufacturing and construction for my whole career has been, so that's what's got me here.
Yeah, hey, folks, I don't know if we can hear it. Look, chime in and let me know if you can hear me or him. All this weather worldwide, we're having a lot of trouble with the internet. So everybody let me know that. So, Geoff, Well, is there a particular moment or experience that set you on this path? I don't know if you've already addressed that, but
Yeah, and with all my experiences, I found myself in a place where, hey, I want to do something else, and I just love working with business. I love seeing businesses grow, and so I thought, hey, you know what? I'm going to put myself in a place where I'm going to coach business owners and help them to maximize their success.
oh goodness, we're having tech issues. Can you?
Yeah, yeah, I'm having a hard time hearing because it's just echoing.
Oh my goodness. Hey, somebody chime in there. Let me know if you can hear it. We'll keep the show going. I couldn't hear you. I don't know if it's on my end or what. I've got a new computer on the way, but I think it's just a lot of folks are having issues. So I appreciate y'all hanging there with us. So I do know this. You've helped companies achieve some really impressive numbers, right? I had to do some research. I said, "Is that right? Did you really do that?" You did. So I know folks would love to hear more about your entrepreneurial journey. All right. So what are some of the biggest lessons that you've learned growing up and growing these own startups that you've talked about in general?
Uh, so I would say the most significant thing is to to stay focused on the bottom line. There's a real there's real temptation to take a look at the top line and say, I want to be 1 million, I want to be 2 million, I want to be 5 million or 10 million, and lose sight of where's the money going, what's the health of the bottom line, because it's focusing on the bottom line that keeps cash flow comes, that helps you avoid having to take on too much debt, and run you into all kinds of problems. You know, focus on the top line feeds your ego, but if you focus on the bottom line, it feeds your family.
Focus on the bottom line. Yeah. We yeah, I remember I think it was Ron Douglas. It said something very similar. I know he had mentioned before a year ago that he said and it helped me. I love this. This is why we do these shows. These little tidbits can go a long way, Jeff. But he said, "Hey, when I put everything I got into it," he said, "if I got a $5,000 budget, I throw all 5 grand at it, right?" And so, you're one of those guys. He was one of those guys that just, he was cutting gas cans out of cars and stuff, and just kind of made it. He just built his own way, and that's why I'm super happy to have you here. So you do some coaching work as well, and you focus a lot on helping the business owners find, both profit and purpose. That's why the Hounds, we don't like it. We don't do this separation, right? We really view our business an extension of who we are. So, what personally, so folks get to know you and the philosophy. What does purpose mean to you personally? Right? Why is it such a big, important part of your approach?
Yeah, look, for me, I come from a Christian foundation, and so separating my purpose that God has in my life from my business side is it's unnatural. That's not the case for everybody, but for me, other people though, they still feel a connection to some greater purpose than their own business owners. Most business owners recognize that they've been blessed in some way, and they want to give back, whether it's to their employees or to their community or to the country or to their neighborhood or their church, whatever it is. But I think a lot of successful people just feel an innate desire to do good with what they've been given. So, I try to integrate that into what I'm doing.
See that's why we're like PB and J. That's what not just me, the Hounds, right? The Hounds of business is like so many just I call it grassroots people, right? People who had a job or did, what they do and and then all of a sudden something happens in life or keeps happening, right? We have folks that their family had cancer and so they switched to oncology, but boy, they made a huge impact. Or maybe they were an oncology nurse, right? But they just went, like, beyond. They started building a business with no clue how to do it, right, and these kinda things. So, I love that. I like you wanna help people be profitable, especially honest people, right, is in the construction and the manufacturing industries, and really get a handle on hiring and retaining the right people, because that's a huge problem, is it not?
Yeah, I mean, it's the construction industry is probably the biggest for them, but for all industries, there's just fewer and fewer people that are going into manual labor or trades and so on. And so the average, I think the average age of a construction worker now is over 40, and they're retiring faster than they're joining the workforce. So that puts a lot of pressure on companies to, hire, retain, and attract the right people. But it also presents a challenge to the industry to how do we attract more young people to start to fill the pipeline at the bottom too.
Yeah, we're gonna touch on that. That's a big deal. So you've helped, I mean, people know this. You've helped construction contractors really significantly grow the revenue. But what is the most? This is the one I wanted to know. What's the most counterintuitive insight? Like, wow, I didn't expect that you discovered about attracting top talent in these trade industries.
Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I don't know if it's counterintuitive or not, but uh, in order employees, we almost have to take the same approach that we do to attract clients. Right? We need to understand what are the needs of our customers, and then try to align what we bring and what problems we solve and what opportunities we create for them. I like to say that when we're approaching people, everybody kind of has one of two things that's running through the background of their mind all the time. They've got a problem or something that they're not happy with that they want to improve, or they've got a goal, something they want to achieve that they're not achieving right now. And so, if we can align our messaging to help them address one of those two things, then that's a great way to attract them. You know, I think in order to be really successful, we really need to have, I'm going to say, four key things. You've got to have great culture that attract, really attractive culture. You've got to have obviously compensation. You have to have a career development and opportunity plan, and you need to provide work-life balance for people. I mean, those are the things that people are going to be attracted to. You got to have all four of them. It's not one; it's all of them.
Absolutely. And we're going to dive into that. A LinkedIn user, I wonder if that's Sarah P. That's Sarah P. She says, "What are younger employees looking for?" This is a great. Let's go ahead and skip to that if you want, especially in construction. Construction, supply chain, manufacturing. What are younger employees looking for in employers in these wheelhouses? What is important to them when they go to look for a job?
Well, I think these are the four, maybe five. Maybe five. I mean, so in construction, I say culture, but safety is probably the biggest piece of that. I mean, they don't want to put themselves at risk. And construction can be dangerous work if safety is not placed at the forefront. So they want to have a strong culture. They want to be paid. Look, it's competitive, right? They're going to look at the construction industry, and they're going to look at manufacturing, and they're going to look at every other opportunity that's presented to them, and they're going to say, where am I going to make money? But it's not just about money; it's about the entire package. What's going to set me up for my future, and so on. What's my career development going to look like, and what's my work-life balance going to be like?
Yeah. So, real quick before we get to the little intro here or the little blurb, it, on that note, have you seen over the last few decades a shift in that work life balance, right? Because I remember the guys in my family and friends, they just worked like everyone balance, right? They would work 12-hour days in the fields or whatever. Do you see that as a shift in the industry mindset? Like, hey, I want to have a life. I want to be able to spend time with family and that.
Yeah, for sure it is, and it creates a real challenge for construction companies. The construction industry. Commercial construction, for example. I mean, all the jobs aren't right in your neighborhood. You're not driving 15 minutes to work every day. Sometimes you got to go a couple of hours to get to the job site. Sometimes you have to, they're out of town. You've got to be overnight, long days. Construction schedules fall behind, and suddenly you got to work a long night, or you got to work a weekend, and it's very disruptive to the individual. You know, from a lifestyle standpoint, the guy wants to spend the weekend with his family, but the company wants him to work. It's a real challenge for the construction industry in particular to try to address.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to, and this is good if you're a smaller, mid-size, or even large company, right, in construction. Take note, right? That was great advice. It's not always about the compensation direct and money, right? In different aspects. We're going to get to that. But before I do, I want to make sure the folks driving around right now that they know to go to Max Level Coaching. So Max, MAX level, right? Coaching.com, maxlevelcoaching.com. That's where guys can find Jeffrey Ladell and find out what he's got going on, connect with him, and have to give a shout out again. Mike King, Biz Radio, Mike King, man, this guy pushes up his community like no other. And now, hey, this tag team duo, we're doing it international right now, guys. So thank you all for coming. Thank you, Kevin, Royce, Homer, folks that I may not see, LinkedIn user, that might be Sarah. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, don't do business alone. Right? It's hard enough as is. Right? If you're trying to find your tribe or your pack out there, check out the Hounds of Business. Right? That's what we do. We push up people and we get things done. Right? That impact you want to make out there, dadgummit, don't do it alone, right? Get the support, people, and resources you need to make it happen, guys. So if you're just tuning in, we are back with Jeffrey Ladell, and he is construction manufacturing, right? Retention, hiring. Boy, it's expensive to lose employees, especially in this industry. Is that right? What What are some of your insights when it comes to um, why people leave, right? Are they just go chasing nickels and dimes and raises, or what are some fundamental things that keep people from staying in one company long term in the construction industry?
Well, look, I mean, we all know that there's people that that are constantly chasing a 50-cent raise or whatever. But generally speaking, those aren't the kind of people that we're trying to attract, right? So, but the kinds of things that cause people who are good employees to look for another opportunity, another job, is a couple of them. If they don't feel like there's a career path for them, that they've got a way forward, that they can achieve their goals professionally, financially, whatever they are, they're going to go look somewhere else. If they feel like they're not being paid fairly, or they're underpaid based on what they perceive their value, they're going to go somewhere else. And one of the top ones, poor leadership. I mean, if the leadership of the organization, if they don't have confidence in them, if they don't feel like the company's going to succeed, if they don't feel like they're being led well, it creates a negative, feeling. They don't feel safe, and so those are just a few of the things that are going to cause really good employees to see if there's a better employee for them, or employer for them.
Daggum straight. In my experience with like firefighting, same principle applies, right? There's no substitute for good leadership, and people want to feel valued and safe, especially in risky jobs and jobs that could hurt you, man. These are not it's not like computer jobs, right? So I thank you for that. And when you talk about the career path, like the career ladder, right? They want to know that they can advance their career. Now, this could be a common sense question, but I don't know. Like I don't know much about it, so I'm reckoning most people won't. But what are some of those things that, that young people in this industry would want as a promotion? Is just promotion to manager or supervisor or
Yeah, yeah. So there's a lot of different paths that they might want, right? I mean, a simple path in the trades might be from an apprentice to a journeyman to a master tradesperson, you know. Uh, but along the way, there could be all kinds of other management roles, project managers, site superintendents, whatever, vice president of operations, construction manager, whatever titles you might want to look at. What they want to know is that that pathway exists for them. Whether it's, hey, I want to be a carpenter and I want to stay a carpenter, I want to rise up to be a master carpenter, and I want, what's that career path looks like? Or I want to be a foreman, I want to be in management. What's that path? They want to see clear pathways, and they want to see what are the requirements, what do I need to do to achieve them, and they want to know that those could potentially exist for them to reach them.
yeah, is it speaking of that, because we think when people, well, I want to get promoted or I want to go in management or I want to advance my career titles and levels, that's just about compensation, which compensation just about money. So is compensation, the biggest factor, and is it just about money? What else is involved?
So I would say a competitive wage is an absolute necessity, right? I mean, that's it's unrealistic to think you can bring somebody in below market competitive wage. So you've got to be there. But then, then they're looking for other things. I mean, they're looking for performance-based incentives. I think overtime is a pretty standard thing just because the government mandates it. But what about other, kind of premium pay? If you're working nights, if you're working weekends, if you're working out of town, they might be looking for premium compensation things there. But benefits are a big deal too. I mean, health insurance costs are rising, retirement plans, paid time off. You know, those are all pretty real issues that people need. There's no doubt that there are employees that they're working for a company and their benefit package is not great. They're going to look for a company that offers a better benefit package, especially if they're raising a family.
Spot on. And again, this is really helpful if you're looking for a career or you have a business, right? Or you're managing a construction. This is pure gold. Everybody, listen, go to maxlevelcoaching.com. All right. Get to know Geoff, have that conversation. Because I know from experience, right? I can't see the forest from the trees. And that's a big deal when you have a big, busy business, especially in construction. It's always nice to have someone who knows the industry from the outside that can come in and go, hey, because it's hard to see it's your own baby sometimes, and it's hard to see past day-to-day operations. So go out there, find maxlevelcoaching.com, connect with Geoff. Let me ask you this, since we're going through your four major points, what are some little tips and tidbits, how can an employer make career development and opportunities attractive?
Uh, I think making opportunity for training and additional skill development, committing to that, leadership development programs, helping young or emerging employees develop their leadership skills so they're more capable of emerging into a higher level. Um, Promoting from within is a big deal. Um, I think sometimes even giving people the opportunity to work on higher profile projects. I mean, if you're doing whatever, a high profile building in town or building a home for you know a celebrity or something like that, putting people on jobs like that makes them feel satisfied.
All right. Because they're people, right? They're people that you know they want to be treated fairly. They want to have pride in their work, right? And especially people in trade, construction, all these different areas. And it's not to be overlooked, especially in this day and age. We need talented people now more than ever. So let me ask you a general question to hit the last one. This is where you really excel, in my opinion. What are your thoughts on recruiting strategies, and do they differ between large companies and small?
Yeah, I mean, so I think we need to become more creative with our recruiting strategy, right? I mean, just posting jobs on Indeed, hey, here's the job requirements. You're going to attract all the people that are looking for 50 cents more, or they're always disgruntled. They're almost chronically unemployable. Very rarely are you going to find the really quality employee that you want just for something like that. But if you are going to post on Indeed, then I think looking at how what you post, make your highlight those things about your company that are going to attract the top talent rather than just stating, hey, these are all the requirements you must meet to get here. Let them know what your culture is. Let them know about your commitment to career path. Let them know about work-life development. Let them know about compensation. And then you're going to attract more of the great. But you, you need to go beyond that, right? I mean, in the short term, with a shortage of employees, you've got to find a way to draw employees who are currently working for another company to come and work for you. In the longer term, you develop that pipeline of employees. So how can we reach younger people and get them engaged in this? I mean, I think about kids coming out of high school, and it seems like most parents are steering them towards college still. But the alternative to college is like the military, right? The government's out there advertising with the military all the time. Join the military, and people don't go to college; they go to the military. Well, we need to get the trades in that conversation too. To say, hey, there's a third option here, and how do we get them more attracted and more interested in coming into that field?
Yeah, well said. Well said. This is kind of a loaded question, but hey, answer it however. You're a top level pro. Folks can benefit from your knowledge. You failed more times than a lot of folks tried in this business, right? That's why they hire you, right? It's very costly to keep doing the same thing over or being unaware that there's another thing they can do. So what give us a client avatar. So I know you work with a lot of different sizes and things. But what is really a good avatar of, hey, this construction company can benefit from this the most?
Yeah, I would say, a company that's, in the million plus revenue, 10 employees, looking to double, triple, expand, is the right spot. I mean, I don't like to say that as a hard and fast kind of thing because, there are companies that would be smaller than that would fit. And of course, anybody larger too. I mean, the continuation of growth, goes beyond that. I'm probably not the right fit for two guys in a truck.
Right.
Doesn't mean I can't help them. I could, but I'd probably put them in a little bit more of a group coaching environment than a one-on-one plan.
So more commercial development, different type of projects, unique projects, right?
Right.
A unique style company. Good, good. Hey, everybody out there, hey, go to maxlevelcoaching.com. You can find Jeffrey Ladell, all right, Ladell. He spells Jeff with a G, all right, so Geoff, all right. Go out there, connect with him, super guy. Yeah, and again, there's lots of people with talent out here, especially people who can help you recruit, retain top talent, and all these kind of things. But there's only one Jeff. All right. I like Jeff. So, I could trust him and know what he knows what he's talking about. He won't give me bad advice. He just say, I don't know, I guess if he did. If there's something out there you don't know, I don't know what that would be. But hey, guys, appreciate you. Thank you, Mike King Biz, for having us here. Thank you, Hounds, in the comments. Thank you for folks watching this later on, the recording, listening in the car. We appreciate you 1,000,000%. Jeff, hey, you're a rock star, my friend. We're going to have you back on here. Thank you for the grace with the tech issues. It's just happening worldwide, guys. It is what it is, but we're going to make it happen. So thank you all so much. We'll see you back here next. Oh man, you bet. Anytime, my friend. We're going to have another. We're going to have you on the HOB live. That's every Wednesday at 7. Shameless plug. How about that? All righty. Well, we will tune in next week. Y'all have a great day. Thank you so much, Jeff. Be good. Oh, maxlevelcoaching.com. I can't say it enough. I know people need it. Thank y'all for stopping by. Be sure to follow, share, and like, and send me a message if you had fun today. Y'all come back now.